Hello, friends. Oh no, ad break about to start. Boo. That was bad timing. Well, I can't do anything about that right now. I have used up all of my ad snoozes. I don't know when those refresh. Hello, Conan. How are you doing? It's a lovely sunny day here. You can see some of that spilling through my window. My involuntary softbox I've got going on over here. It's better than it used to be, though. If you remember older streams, where I used to have, like, a piece of cardboard I would stick in the window to block the light. Reggie, hello. Hello, Frederick. Welcome, 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 one and all. I have been having an awesome day. Thank you, Frederick. I hope you have, too. It's been busy work, busy life, everything. Also gotten a few good mail days in a row, which has been pretty cool. Including the board we're building today, including the keycaps we're using today, including the switches we're using today, or at least that I'm planning to use today. I've also been mailing out boards because I've been, if you don't recall, when was that? 2 streams ago? When did we do that? Did our photo shoot. I've been selling some of my keyboard collection. I've sold about 4 so far, which is pretty good. So, well, actually there's, no, 5. 5 and almost 6. 6 pending. So, been doing a lot of back and forth and shipping estimation and packaging and all that kind of stuff, which is fun. I do enjoy that quite a bit. And it also is kind of a fun vindication of like all of the different boxes that I've kept for months and packing material like paper and bubble wrap. I feel justified in my stowing those away in the basement because now they're coming in handy. But that being said, I have been posting some of the sales in other places as well, not just my own server, but if you want the most info right off the bat, feel free to join my Discord. Get some deals on some good keyboards that are going. The last one that sold just recently was the Alex Otos Edition Envoy. But there are still numerous keyboards left. And some other stuff too. I just put up a new audio interface up today, if you're into that sort of thing. But let's look at some of this new stuff that we got. You'll have to let me know. I redid some things with the camera. I'm just trying to see if the frame rate is off. Hold on, let me test something real quick. Watch the picture get bad. Let's see. Oh, there we go. It's smoothed out slightly. I don't know what's going on with the frame rate there for a second. Anyway, I am using a different overhead cam today just trying out some different stuff. Instead of using the Sony I was using, I'm trying out using my Fuji because it has a webcam mode and can just connect straight into a port and I don't have to mess with a cam link or anything like that. So I wanted to give that a try. So the colors and brightness and everything are slightly different. You'll have to let me know if it's too much or anything, but it might be a little bright right now, but we've also got extra light, so that will fade in due time. But let's take a look at some swag that we got recently. So of course, the Agar, which we will be building today. Also picked up, I can reach it, we have an Agar Mini. Now this will be coming up in probably a couple weeks because we have actually a special bonus stream this weekend that may spill into next Tuesday, and then we'll resume stuff after that. Sorry to pop in, have to leave soon. Oh, thanks, Reggie. Enjoy your cable adventures. What's up, Durs? So anyway, yeah, this will be moved. This build will be moved a little further out than I had anticipated, just because we're going to be getting a prototype to look at that we'll have a special bonus stream for on Saturday. And then that may spill into a part 2 on Tuesday. We'll just have to see. Then we've got 2 new. These just arrived today. If they will pop out of their bubble wrap. A couple new ECPCBs from Canon Keys, some 60% PCBs for some upcoming conversions I'm planning to do. In fact, the plates from them are en route as well. So we're getting plates for a Pangea Mini and for the thermal. And now I've got the PCBs for them as well. What else? What else? We got our extension kit. Oh, this is going to be really bright right now with all the extra sunlight. Our extension kit for high vis. I already have the round 1 keycaps, so I just got the extension kit this time for round 2. So we'll be planning a high vis build, which I'm thinking everything that like Bowl and Manu have been showing off with the injection molded Pangea Mini that's going to have like the Nerve collab and stuff, or the Nerve colorway, would also work really well with this. So considering that, we got a bajillion switches. Got these from Divinity, which I think we might use today. Some egg yolks. We got a bunch, and then a bunch of little bags of them, so I'm not going to just get them all out. We got some Wingtree Golden Apple V2s. And we've got HMX Sarus, which I think Shark is actually using on his stream right now in the Manta. That he got from me. So that's fun. But I got these switch ideas from Shark. And speaking of Shark, he also modded a bunch of switches for me that came in today. A bunch of TTC PT Blacks that have been lubed and spring swapped. And he's such a gentleman, he also threw in some HMX firecrackers that he didn't want. So we are flush with switches right now, y'all. An embarrassment of switches, you might say. But I'm thinking with the yellow tones that we've got going on in UFO, we might do some egg yolks. I'm really interested to see how these sound in person. I've listened to multiple sound tests, but I want to get it in my ear holes for real. Thought about using the blacks, but I don't, since we're doing a solder build today, I don't think I want to like lock these down quite yet. And we might use them in a different build. I think I might actually tone this down a little bit. There we go. I might brighten that back up once the sun goes down a little bit through the window. I might need to invest in some more kind of a blackout situation over there. Anyway, it's a lot, y'all. But probably one of the biggest hauls is actually... oh, sorry, I got distracted by Frederick in Discord, actually. At first, I read your message wrong, Frederick, and I thought you were saying that my stream was very quiet, but I think you were saying that the keyboard was very quiet. I was like, oh no, my sound. But everything's just okay. I'm good. I'm glad to hear how quiet the Petrichor is. One we built on stream, actually, for anybody who might not know. Let us get back to keycaps. So, big haul was DCS UFO, which has been going out to lots of folks. It has arrived... You were so quiet. No, you're good. You're good. I just had to parse it in my head. Has been going out to lots of folks. A lot of folks in the U.S. got theirs yesterday, myself included. So let me pull up, because we got every kit, y'all. So let's go through them. I got 2 of the novelty kits, but the person who was helping with US fulfillment forgot to put one of them in. So we only have 1, but we got it all squared away, and the second set of them is on its way. So no worries there. But it is pretty beefy. Are y'all ready for this? So, we have a base kit, as you might expect, with, you know, nice navy blue. We've got kind of sky blue, a bit of a darker blue, and then 2 different yellows that kind of make up the palette of DCS UFO. So this is the base kit, which is very nice. What's up, Ty? Welcome. Then we've got alt alphas. So if you play your cards right, you could almost get like 2 builds out of this depending on what all you do in terms of mod usage or special layouts. Like if you built one that was like ISO and did different things, you could definitely get more usage out of this. So we've got the base, we got alts, we've got the lovely novelties. Just look at these. Look how cute. Look how cute. So I will be getting another kit of this, and then we'll get more like bottom row options and could do like different columns and stuff potentially. But like, look at that. The UV printed ISO is so cool. I need to find something good to do with it. Along that lines, I mean, kind of matching with a very similar aesthetic is the Bay, which also has meow, little beam up. We have, what else? A bunch of little guys. I believe this is the row 3 up, and then a few QC fixes that were included. So like the F10 end, row 1 end, and a row 1 page down apparently had issues that they caught and got some replacements, including like the normal enter. So there's a few fixes. This is the 40s color fix, I think. Like if you're using it in a 40s layout and you want the colors to better match the full base kit layout, like the width of it and the ratio of colors to each other, you can use this. We've got what one is this one? The 40s mods, I believe these are. Yes, 40s mods. This is the alt mini bars kit. So like some Alice stuff. We got the extra B and some little bars. We have a 6.25U kit for bottom row shenanigans. I'm looking through my list here. Is that the 6.25U kit, or is that a different thing? Or maybe this is just extra base kit. No, there wasn't a separate kit for 6.25. This is just more base kit. We have numpad. And we have mini bars. So like other bars and an alternate extra B here. And then the first one I've ever owned, the 10U spacebar. This thing is so ridiculous. And look at the bracing in it. It's just like, oh, maybe it won't focus on that super well, but that is wild. I feel like I would need to save this for like a battleship style layout thing. Anyway, so we're going to be building with UFO today. Not all of this, for sure. We'll probably stick with our base kit, and then we'll do some novelties, for sure. Maybe do the Bay. I had looked ahead of time. We are doing a solder build, but the Agar PCB, the solder PCB, does not support ISO. So I thought it'd be fun maybe to do an ISO build, but we will not be doing that today. But lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of options here. So we'll see if we can get a couple builds out of it. I don't know how much we'll actually get done today, but we'll set these aside for now. And let's look at the board. Woo. All that lovely signature plastics detritus. So, if you're not familiar, and I'm sure you probably are by this point because the Agar is not that new, and they're on their third version of the Agar now because there's the Agar Mini, and the Agar Micro, which is in group buy right now. The Agar is from KBDfans. It's a very affordable HHKB style 60% board. It has a really nice design language to it, though, with kind of this sloping HHKB blockers. What's up, Nana? How's Shark doing over there? I got a build guide. We got some hardware. Got the fun weight. I forgot that there was like extra designs on the weight when arguing about Africans. Let me zoom in. Different lens, different zoom quality. Will it focus is the big question. There we go. Because it's got like moons and stars and fun stuff on it and like waves. So it kind of feels like it goes with UFO a little bit because there is some space shenanigans going on. Oh man, this is a very different camera setup up here right now. It did get some like scum stuck to it from the foam a little bit, but all of that is not actually going to be visible, so it's okay. A couple screwdrivers, and we've got our board right there. And we've got our box of accessories, which includes our PCB, and it uses magnetic pogo, if I'm not mistaken. We've got multiple foams, we've got our plate, and we've also got this little guy, which I assume is to grab onto it and lift it out, like a little spudger, like crochet hook kind of thing. So we might need that. Let me set that over there. My guess is it's to grab onto the assembly and lift it out of the case. So, got the alu today. Oh yeah, there it is, probably right there. I'm guessing, like, does it fit through there? Oh yeah, and then you can use that to lift the sides out. I'm guessing it's little entry points on each side. So fairly straightforward. I think this is 7U only. Split right. And we can do split or full, but we'll be doing a split because I'm a split backspace boy when possible. There's also LEDs on the bottom of this, but that won't really show through the case we have. There's our solder PCB. So we do have stepped and normal caps as an option, and split or full backspace. Those are really the only choices you have to make on this one. Everything else, pretty straightforward. Oh yeah, let's get the Pogo Buddy out of here. Is this the Area 51 build? Yes, sir. And this is our little daughter board Pogo squiggly guy. If it comes out, I feel like this is using a Go-Gurt. There we go. So this little snaky friend here will be. So there's the daughter board. And then this snakes through the bottom of the case, and we've got our Pogo connection. Yep, it's a squiggle. We got a squiggler. All right. Accessories. Now for the case itself. Look at this. Look at this beaut. When I knew that we were getting close to fulfillment, on UFO, I started hunting. I was like, what am I going to put UFO on? Because I did have a navy blue board, but I don't think the navies are quite the same. And I also sold it right around the same time. So I was like, I got to figure out what to do. And so I was like looking at the Agar, because I was already planning on getting a mini to put after school on. And then I saw that they still had, not a ton, they had very few of these left, of this nice light blue Agar still. And I thought that is going to be a good match. I think I'm correct. So if we look at like the keycaps next to it, it's a little bit different, but not a ton, honestly. It's pretty close. On the prowl for a 65 or a TKL that would work with it. I am with you. There's so many good keycap options with, well, it does not want to focus. There we go. Having trouble focusing. I probably need to change, I need to change my focus setting on this, because this is my photo camera, not my typical, I need to change what it's willing to focus on. A little lighter and brighter, yeah, exactly. But there's such a range of tones in this keycap set that I think it will work out. So let's, before we get to soldering, let's maybe put in the weight and put the feet on. Just saw a UFO on Mike Marco yesterday. Is that where you scored? No, I got in on the group buy. Group buy. They only just arrived to group buy folks in the US, at least, yesterday, for the most part. What are these? Oh, these must be little mounting beans or something. But I'm not actually 100% familiar with the mounting style for this. Is it? Oh, do they go over the little posts? Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't do my usual due diligence of actually like learning how to build a board first on this one, because I figured it'd be pretty straightforward. So those must do, oh, those are for the daughter board. And then these are for the weight, and these are the feet. Cool. Do this before we get in. The friction mounts, yeah, I figured that's why they included the little pull tool thing, because it would be friction fit. How does the, speaking of everything, I did more futzing with the picture and the frame rate and stuff. Does it seem okay on other people's ends? I'm just curious. I'm trying out 30 frames per second for a classy look, and I'm hoping it is actually coming across. I was trying to set stuff up in OBS, or futzing with it in OBS a little bit. Just got here. Did you have a plate with this as well? It looks good now. Looks good now? Was there a problem? I do have a plate. That's right here. I'm doing the alu plate. All right, carefully, carefully. Nice. All right, let's. Whoop. So what kind of bit we looking at here? So it's a bigger boy. This'll do. Or is it actually? Ooh, yeah. Never had to use one like this yet. There we go. So we got that lovely weight down in there. Let's go ahead and do feet while we're down here. It has arrived. What specifically? A lot of stuff. I got every child kit. You are correct. I got 2 of the novelties. Only 1 was packed. 1 was left out by mistake, but it's already on its way. So we are down 1 novelty pack, but that's all right. I just wanted it to be able to extend the kitting a little bit more, as if it didn't have enough. But that'll open it up to let me, like, maybe, you know, get some more boards out of it at the same time, essentially. All right. Daughter board. Little squiggle friend here. All right, let's see. Is it actually lined up? That is the question. There we go. Actually, let me double check the foams and make sure that there's not like anything that's supposed to go under the daughter board as protection. Where did I put? Oh, they're still in here. So I think we've just got probably like case foam, PE foam, something like that. Whoa, hello. Shark! Thank you for the raid, my friend. How is your manta doing? Hello, Marvicius. Captain Mal, how you doing? You love it? That's what I love to hear. So that's like a PE foam-ish. And this, oh, this is case, like a case foam with little cutouts for the LEDs. This is like the weirdest little flangey thing. Thanks again. Absolutely. So you put Sarus in it, right? Did you end up doing UFO? Very nice. It's gonna, yeah. I mean, with that, with raw or silver or anything, like, I mean, it's hard to miss. But I can imagine, yeah, UFO looking especially nice on there because it kind of has a spaceship vibe to it. I feel like. I might use this foam. That'd be easy enough to change out. But I think I will skip on these for now. Even though we are soldering, so it's kind of how it's going to be for a bit. Blue Agar, good Agar. I think it is a very nice blue, first off. It's kind of a nice, light, sky-ish, baby-ish blue. And it's also really nice with UFO, I will tell you. What do we need here? We need one smaller than that. There we go. We only need 3 of these, right? So a 10 stream streak. I am honored. All right. Not too tight on the daughter board. Feels a little. There we go. It's a little smoother. Cool. Send me a sound clip. Awesome. Awesome. You'll get a lot of good life out of that board, I think, because there's so many different ways you can build it. Did you end up sticking with the hard gasket beans, or did you mix it up? I figured you were using night stabs, right? So maybe not O-ring. Cool. Those were my favorite, probably, were the hard beans. Enjoyed them. Not enough to keep the board, obviously, but I did enjoy them. Okay. Accessories. So, we have our board prepped. Let us... Oh, this is what I'm thinking about using Shark, by the way. Because don't these kind of look like DCS UFO? Like some of the yellows in DCS UFO? I mean, the top's a little warmer. But I'm thinking egg yolks might be fun. And then they'll be loud, which is also fun. So, board is prepped. Let me get my mat out here. Those are stabilizers. And then get to soldering. Still got some flux crusties on here. I think I need to harvest. Oh, thank you for the follow. Kajata. Let's see. I think we have, because I didn't know how long some of this would take, we do have a couple of stabilizers I've already harvested that might fit the bill. But I do need to do a new space bar. And we'll test these out before we actually get too far in. Because I actually, against all odds, because I use 7U most of the time, I did find that I had a spare 7U night wire. So I just need to grab a couple of housings from a 2U here. I am fresh out of new night stabs, as it turns out. Now we'll need to get some more once they're restocked. Yeah, like I did not really enjoy the Type Plus stabs, but the boxes have been really nice. That's where like I've been keeping a lot of my spare stabilizer parts, which has been very fun. Actually, let's give that a flip there. Stabs were meh. I mean, I know some people have really liked them. The left and right only parts were interesting, but it was just way too much hassle for me. Like, for as finicky as a hobby as this is, there are some things that I kind of realized, and I'm like, I'm too lazy for this aspect of the hobby. And dealing with those stabilizers was one of them. I've got extra screws here. Where's my other bag of more 2U wires, washers. There we go. Bunch more. Bunch of shims. Should probably try to get the foam out of there, get myself a little bit more space. They are a bit wide too. Some plates hate them. Oh, interesting. Once they're installed, I love them, but I go for nights. Yeah, they're just like the least fussy ones I've found for myself. Actually, let's do one of these one at a time here. Actually, I might not need that other bag of screws. And when we build the Mini, we won't need to worry about any of this because it is Dynacap. And I mentioned that stream got pushed out a little bit because when I mentioned we were going to have a special bonus stream this weekend, I didn't say what it was. It is, drumroll, the Schema. Yay! It's actually the same prototype that Shark looked at. It's on its way to me. I have some ideas of some things we could do with it that I haven't seen up to this point. There might be some switch overlap though, because I do want to put the switches that Shark modded for me into it, among other things. But I have some keycap ideas that I haven't seen yet that we might try out. Maybe some other profiles too. 'Cause I think I've seen builds with like GMK Cherry and GMK MT New on it. But what's up, Chris? Like I've got some other interesting profiles we might try out on there, like SLK, maybe some PBS. Just see how it sounds. How you doing, Chris? Good to see you. Whoa, autofocus. Yeah, I'll need to check my autofocus settings before my next stream on what its deal is. I think it has like I need to set it up to a wider focus tracking because it's basically set to here, and so if it's just gray stuff there, it's like I don't know what to do. Just getting ready for work. Oh, well, awesome. Appreciate you being here. What am I drinking? I am drinking a batch non-alcoholic cocktail that I made. It's leftovers from this weekend, actually, because our D&D group came over. And I like to make batch cocktails for them, so I made an alcoholic one and a non-alcoholic one. The alcoholic one is long gone. But this is a drink called the Blaylock. And it is essentially mostly grapefruit juice. There's also some blood orange in there. A 2-to-1 ratio honey syrup that I made. Lemon juice. And then it is usually mixed about 1-to-1 with like club soda on ice. It's very good. So it tastes like if you were just eating a grapefruit that you drizzled honey on, essentially, and it's quite nice. The other drink I made was called the Garden Rambler, which is very herby and delicious. Has lots of herbs in it that infuse it, but that's mainly lime and tequila and pineapple syrup, actually, that I made. But it's so easy because you're basically combining pineapple juice and sugar and dissolving it over heat. And then let it cool in your bottle and it lasts for a few days. Sounds refreshing. Yeah, this weekend was hot. So we did, I made a couple of nice cool drinks for everybody while we were playing D&D. So let's test these stabilizers out. Let me put these back in the box. Some switches. Let's do some in the corners here. to be as careful of the back because these don't have, I guess it just has the LEDs. I don't need to be watching out for hot swap sockets. Whoa! Spilled my eggs. And one here. And let's throw in a couple more for stability. Before we do the stab test. Okay. So, we need to crack open some fresh DCS goodness here. So we need to test with an enter and a left shift and a spacebar. So we've got our 7U here. Let's start here. Although we could, if we wanted to get real crazy with it, we could do the 10U. Kind of want to just to see how it sounds. Look at that. Long, long bar. So these switches can't actually be here though. So let's just test it for fun right now. They will have to be soldered in for the actual keyboard. But just to test the stabilizers. Come on. It's a little sluggish, but there could be a little bit of warping with a bar this big. It might not be. That's raised up a tiny bit in the center, but that'll be for another time. Do it? I'm not gonna build the whole thing with that one. Let's get our 7U out. That sounds good. Put these back in. I'll have a use for this eventually. As I said, that may be more of a battleship situation when there's more keys available to not be taken out. And we'll need. I wonder what was wrong with the enter that was in this pack, because they sent me a QC replacement. I guess maybe we'll see when we dig it out here. Messed up F10 wasn't that messed up? Yeah, I mean, I got a new F10, a new page down, like a row 1 page down, a new enter, and a new row 1 end. But I haven't looked that closely yet because I trust their QC. The QC of our American vendors, at least. I just gotta dig my way over to the shift. Oh, that's the right side one. You just got an F10 and enter? I'm guessing there were more problems with my set specifically or something. Of course, they also threw in the row 3 up arrow with the QC fixes. So, I don't know. Got scammed. Oh, maybe that's the issue. This is a row 4 enter. Yep. I was like, wait a minute, this profile seemed too steep. Yeah. So, it's not going to show up super well. So this is the enter. Come on. Focus. This is the enter that was in the base kit. And this is what it should be. So the base kit included a row 4. Enter. So, cool. I mean, if I need... Great. Stabs sound good. Egg yolk's so good. The old PSA. I learned it from watching you. Alright, let's set these aside. Get the rest of our switches in. Actually, I'll need to scoot that further over. Hello. Oh, we got a bent pin. Oh, these pins want to bend. There we go. Actually, let me get my iron heating up. With harder plates, there's really no reason why I kind of do it in a zigzag or a angled pattern like this, except that I like the look of it. I do that sometimes with softer plates intentionally to like reduce warping, or maybe it's just a placebo effect, to like spread out tension more evenly as I'm putting in switches. But I don't think that actually has any effect with alu. Check something over here real quick. Oh, Alex is streaming. Hope his voice is doing better. Maybe we can give him a raid later. Help an up-and-coming streamer, you know? Okay. Let's double check all our pins. go, that's the mounting points. So, make sure, also make sure that everything is nicely there we go, some loose friends there. Make sure everybody is all the way in. Don't have any of those fancy 3D printed tools to do this for solder builds. And everybody got their pins coming through. Pins, 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 pins. Oh, that's very close to the LED. That'll be an interesting solder point. Great. The oblique might be your first solder build. Oh, and the solder PCB is just waiting. You're right, that does sound good already. Okay. I don't need the screwdriver right now. Very exciting to do a solder build. You know, I've soldered a handful of things now, excuse me. I've only just done that one keyboard up to this point. So, it was also a 60%, so this is actually 2 switches fewer than that. So, alrighty. Get our fan positioned. And bring our iron over here. Get a drink for courage. There's no alcohol in this. Oh, solder would be good, huh? Might be good to have some solder. Feed some through the spool here. All right. I need to retin the tip here. Hello, Fetty. How you doing? Let me actually move my mouse to this side now. Let's see if the camera can keep up. Actually, let me just do this over here a little bit. Let's retin our solder tip. Nice. Working and lurking. That's the way to do it, man. And then pull this out a bit far. Try not to block this too much. I feel like I have to get like really close to it to feel like I'm doing it correctly. One switch down. I need to add a little bit more solder to those, but we'll find out. Always better to err on the side of too little, right? You can always add more solder. It's tricky when you have to take solder away. It can get tricky. A little flux on my thumb there, that's okay. All part of the job. Cable stuck for a second. Or the cord. Are looking. Not bad, not bad. You might not even be able to tell that I hadn't soldered in months at this point. Maybe soldering is like riding a bike. Oh, I see what the problem is. Come around the control panel for my standing desk. That will help. Oh my god, a little blobby. That's okay. What's your favorite thing about DCS? I'll go first. The thinner font of the legends and specifically the Q. The Q is very nice. My favorite thing about DCS is probably the texture. Honestly. But the Q is an excellent Q, I will give you that. Mikey! What's up, man? How are you doing today? Straighten out my wire here. Okay, let's see how we looking with row 1. Pretty good. All right. Everybody in row 2 is sitting pretty. Let's move on. Alright, now I gotta be really careful here. I might actually flip that one around. To watch out for that. I don't want to get the soldering iron too close to that LED. This one as well. Let's see, that's safe. And let's do this one upside down as well. Good. Private run so I can gatekeep. I air gatekept DCS UFO for someone that is like, and it worked. What? Really? That's incredible. All right, now back to normal. Shork tried to do a small run of DCS, didn't work out. It was too successful. DCS Jabronis win. I know. A graphic designer who's into keyboards should make keycaps, right? I have ideas. Here's the thing about that, though. Partly about that. I've mentioned this to a couple of people. I am a graphic designer, it's true. And I also design mostly icon. I mean, I do lots of different kinds of graphic design, but my bread and butter is iconography, which would be perfectly suited for working on keyboards, right? But I've been kind of burned out on the tech and design industries for over a year now. And so keyboards has been like my escape not doing design to some degree. And so I'm not 100% sure I really want to dive in with both feet and like try to blend those two worlds again. Or like, you know. That being said, I have started work on like 4 different keycap sets at this point. It will become work, basically. I mean, kind of. I mean, up to a certain point, the only client is me. And, you know, I like to tinker with design stuff on the side, for sure. I have a newer idea that I've started fleshing out a little bit more. The trouble with me, and I think I mentioned this to Shark and some other folks at KeyCon, and I've mentioned on stream before too, like the way that my brain works is I'm thinking of like, I want to do like whole new legends, whole new whatever, not just colors, and nothing against, you know, keycap sets that are essentially just choosing colors, because it still takes skill and inspiration and discernment, but like, I want to get more nuts with it a little bit, which would require either new molds or more UV printing or other stuff like that. So it's either going to be a method people don't like or complain about sometimes with UV printing, or it's going to be more expensive because it would require new molds. So, you know, difficulties. But I am working on one idea right now that is a completely new legend system. And another idea that would basically be most likely a mix of standard legends and UV printing. I don't think it would be mold. People would want molds of that per se, but I wanted Grass Valley to be a Discord group buy, and that didn't happen. So now I'm actually planning one so I can gatekeep like Vice. Yes, good. Carefully around the LED. We are getting a little bit of burned oxidization stuff on there. There we go. Got a little burned stuff on there. I gotta clean that off. Clean your tip, everybody. Remember that. Keep your tip clean. You should just post random renders or something just for fun, if that doesn't burn you out. I would need to learn the keyboard render kit first. But, but it's on my to-do list. Right now I'm primarily working in Figma for my legends and stuff, and testing out color combos in like keyboard layout stuff in the browser. Whatever that tool is called, I don't remember. Keyboard layout editor, maybe? One of my favorite color combos I've actually thought about doing something with was actually the brand colors from the Munich Olympics. Because I have a whole design book about the process behind all of that. But it was like, I don't know, this feels a little appropriative to do something based on the Munich Olympics, but really killer design inspiration there, if you want to look it up. I googled that, mostly the massacre comes up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's either the massacre or the Spielberg movie about the massacre, or... And so it's like, yeah, so there's multiple reasons why I'm not pursuing that. I mean, not that you'd have to, like, make it, call it GMK Munich or something, but, you know, I don't know. I'm not at peace with it, so I've not pursued that. But I have a giant Apple Note with, like, 30 to 40 keycap ideas in there. Let's not get me canceled. I would hope I'm a little more savvy than getting canceled over a keycap set. But you never know. We all have our implicit biases and stuff, right? That we don't always... Our blind spots we're not always aware of. Good to keep a lot of different folks around you to keep you straight. Woo! Toasty. For an HHKB, this is taking longer than I thought. But I'm also just a very slow and methodical solderer. Alright. Granted, on the bottom row, we've only got 5 switches to do. Nice and slow. Indeed. I'm also periodically burning myself with flux. Just a little scorch. Keeps you on your toes. Come on. Heat up the pin. Why aren't we heating up? Oh, we weren't making enough contact, I don't think. We could probably speed things up a little bit now. We're getting into it. One day I'll be as fast as Frank. Feel like he can just rip through a solder build. That means a longer stream, so I'm not complaining. I'm hoping to go a little bit longer on Saturday with our special bonus schema stream. Hopefully part 1 of 2. Bull hasn't told me when he needs me to do anything else with it yet. So, rather than waiting all the way until next Tuesday, which is my usual stream day, I wanted to get in some extra time on a weekend when I wouldn't have a hard time cap on it as much. And there isn't a 6-year-old's bedtime to contend with, you know? Some of those fumies off of there. So we'll see what we can do there, and then hopefully if I don't have to send it back right away, I can do some more fun with it on Tuesday next week. But we'll see. Well, it'll be the hard part is holding off, because it's supposed to come Thursday, I think, and holding off building it until Saturday. But I'll definitely probably take some pictures of it before then. I would have loved if they had the EC plate ready, or the Dynacap plate ready to go, because I could have done I could do an EC build because I've got the parts and I've got an extra 60% PCB right now. That would be fun. I would love to hear EC in the schema. Yeah, that would have been great. I haven't bought my schema yet. I want a little bit more funds to clear from trying to sell boards. I'm going to go in on the Dynacap plate in addition to probably Alu and PP. But I've been bit by the EC bug, so I'm trying to do more builds. Hello. Happening here? Oh, we jumped the spool. Oh, I'll clean that off. Let's get back on board, fellas. There we go. That was weird. Anybody been watching anything good recently? The official trailer for the Avatar Aang movie came out today, and I'm very excited about it. I did not watch the leak have avoided spoilers, so I am very excited for that. I was just gonna ask if you watched the leak. No. I want it to be as intended, for the people who have put a lot of work into it. Exciting stuff. Honestly, might be my favorite TV show of all time is The Last Airbender. Just saying a lot for a cartoon. I watched Michael recently, and I've been lost out listening to MJ. Interesting. I haven't been a huge MJ fan. I think I can respect music choices, but I think for reasons that I don't need to go into necessarily, it's a challenging thing. Art and artist separation is always difficult. finished watching the recent season of From. I've heard a lot of recommendations of From. It is on my list. Mostly, I want to just rewatch Widow's Bay. Speaking of spooky stuff. But I did start watching Season 3 of Silo, which I'm very excited about. I'm really glad they had a nice big refresher at the beginning because I had kind of forgotten a lot that happened in Season 2. But it's off to a nice start. I'm excited. Say what you will about Apple TV's programming. I feel like they do genre shows very well. So when they've done horror, sci-fi... They haven't really taken a crack at fantasy much yet, have they? Although they are doing... Brandon Sanderson soon. Or it's in production. Same, I forgot so much of what happened last season in Silo. Yep. And it's interesting too, like I'm not going to spoil anything, but the events so far are being split across 2 different time periods, which is not a secret. Like it's not being obfuscated like Westworld, like how Westworld did it in season 1 or something. Spoilers for Westworld, I guess. But yeah. It's interesting how they're kind of intercutting those, because we definitely, by default of having 2 seasons with a set of characters, are more invested in their story than the other one. But we'll see. The Burrows is not horrible on Netflix. I've heard The Burrows was good, but didn't they just cancel it as well? Which I heard a lot of people were upset about. But I also feel like that maybe just be classic Netflix not giving something a chance. The whole shift from network to streaming is interesting to me because, like, so few shows are allowed to, like, find their footing now. Like, you know, back in more heavily network days, you know, you could have a dog shit season 1 and still get renewed potentially. And then get good. Like, if we're looking at, like, Parks and Rec or The Office, like, their first seasons were not good. But they figured out, you know, they found their footing. They got into a rhythm, they figured out what worked, and they were given that shot. But I don't feel like that happens with streaming now. Like, if you're not doing numbers for the inscrutable black box of, you know, viewership numbers and ratings or whatever, then you're canned. But, I don't know. The Burrows were fun, not amazing, but fun. Cheesy funny. That's fun. Sometimes that's what I'm in the mood for. I wonder if it's because there's so many things in queue now, so they don't give shows a chance to just give it to the next one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, most of my TV time is spent on Dropout, so they get most of my money, and not most of my money because their subscription is stupid cheap, but they get most of my attention, most of my TV attention. One of the other things I'm most excited for, speaking of Netflix, is not going to be out until the fall of next year, which is a bummer. I don't even have Netflix anymore. I'll have to get a sign up for a free trial to watch it when it comes out. But it's season 2 of Delicious in Dungeon is going to come out in the fall of 2027. I also want to watch the new version of Ghost in the Shell. Speaking of anime stuff. Because aside from like Studio Ghibli and some like big names, of course, it's kind of a blind spot for me, anime in general. I watched Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I've seen some Dragon Ball. Never watched any One Piece. I did watch Fooly Cooly, or FLCO, however we describe it. But like some like other like more seminal stuff, like the original Ghost in the Shell, or like I haven't even seen Akira. Can I call myself a nerd? I don't know. But I think that's also coming back for like a big 4K remaster IMAX thing this year, so maybe that will be my time. Alright. Whew, man, this is taking forever. We'll have like just enough time to put keycaps on. The original Fooly Cooly was amazing. Oh yeah, that's right, because there was like a new... that wasn't really a reboot, was it? But it was like an extension of the story or something? I never saw that, but I did watch the original in college, and I like listened to the Pillows and the soundtrack like non-stop for a good couple of years. Also, Akira, one of the greatest anime of all time. I have it on VHS. I mean, I've seen, like, so many things have referenced it. I've seen a lot of clips from it. I know what a seminal work it was and how much it's influenced. I just have not seen it. I want to. I should have checked the bottom row before I just dove right in, but I think we're good. I think we are good. Alright, 3 more switches. God help me if I ever try to solder a TKL on stream. That'd take ages. There we go. Let this fume off a little bit here. So I'm curious, Frederick, do you have a VCR for Akira? Or do you just have it to have physical media of something you love? Which I wholeheartedly support. Especially, I mean, I don't know how many folks here follow video games. Combo, excellent, excellent. I bet it looks amazing on like a CRT TV. People who follow video games or anything, and like the stupid like Sony announcements of like stopping physical media disc production in by 2028 or whatever it is. I don't remember the full details. And it's like, how dumb can you be? Like, I know that, like, what is it, 80% of sales, or 70 to 80% of sales for new games are typically digital. But it's like, let's see, get some Flux Chunkies out of there. I don't know. I'm a big physical media fan because I'm at the point where I've gotten fed up with essentially renting content and games from companies who don't have my best interests at heart and wanting to actually like own my shit. Anyway, that could be a whole nother rant. But look at this beauty. Look at it. There's some Flux Crusties on the back. We're not gonna worry about that right now. Let us get assembled here in our final half hour together. All right, we'll bring this out just in case I need it. And I'm excited about that. Let's look at our mounting points here. Little friction fit friends. So they kind of don't go away. So these are almost like they kind of nestle into there, don't they? These are almost like O-ring posts with a little cutout. This top part kind of goes into, and then there's a little nubbin, basically a guiding post or an alignment post to help it. Just got to make sure that those are actually... There we go. Well, that's very clever. Good job, KBDfans. And so then that kind of goes over these divots. But I'm assuming these all need to go in first, right? If not, then we'll have to pull it out and reattempt. So I could see them also potentially being something that you fit on here first. Not really. Like try to do it that way and then wedge in. But I'm guessing this is the way to do it. But we shall see for sure momentarily. Whoop. Stay. Stay. Also, it's probably not super visible, but I did put a little music widget on the screen from your recommendation, Frederick. It might be too small to actually read what it says, but maybe if you blow it up full screen. Because Pool Suite does have the thing of saying what's playing right now, but it is not the most accessible in terms of type size. All right. We've got our little mounting buddies in. So, there we go. So it just kind of goes thunk. Let me check it real quick while we're here. If it's not 100%, it won't matter to me. Hey, keyboard setup assistant. Yes. Good. Good. ANSI. Okay, well, it does recognize it, so that's working. So that's great. I'll double check all the keys for 100% sure later, but it is working. And the keys that I tested to go through the macOS dialog are working. They are egg yolks. Yes, thank you, Shark. All right. Let's get some keycaps on this bad boy. So we got the rest of our base kit. I mean, this might be a bay situation just for today, though, right? Even though we've soldered in 2 switches. We could always map one to do nothing. So we don't need the color fix or the 40s right now. But we will want these. Don't need the numpad or the alt alphas currently. So let's just work with this set for right now. Bay! I feel like you gotta do the bay, right? Hello. It's gonna be a little sluggish maybe with both buddies in there, but so big and pretty. Yeah. So maybe for actual typing test, I might take that out, but for looks for right now, we'll leave it in. We've also got this other nice novelty enter right here. That's the row 4 enter that exists for some reason. A little shift. Let's do, maybe we'll do one of these buddies as the function right there. So, might do we want that is the question. Or do we want, because we do have, well, there isn't really a yellow escape, is there? Interesting. Interesting. But we do have our 2 row 1 stars. Maybe we'll do stars up there. We could try that out at least, if I can get the shrink wrap open. A Herculean task that I was not up for. There we go. Progress. And we'll also want a couple of the small ones while we're at it. Let's see, for the bottom, the little buddy and the little UFO. And we could do the 2 row 4 stars as well. I'm going to have to keep all this sorted into different bags, though. This is going to be the greatest nightmare ever. Okay, so we got our, got a little fuzzer. Nice and loud, I like it. Let's do, since we've got bay, let's mix it up by putting the other little buddy over here. Okay, now to sort through. That's another novelty. Don't need that. Don't need that or that. I do need tab though. And we do need our stepped control, which is awesome to have. Where is your DCS UFO? I told them to give it to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Chris. Let's see. Oh, now that it's a little darker, I wonder if I can... Nope, wrong way. Brighten that up a tad. I was going to pick up the baby blue Agar, but I saw you got it, so I got the tofu sapphire blue instead. I mean, this is a really decent match, honestly. Like, the blues are slightly different, but I think it's quite nice. And it has, like, moons and stars on the weight, too, so. You took my set? Maybe. Excuse me. Okay, so I don't think we need anything else there. Oh, wait, I did think about using a star for that, but I think I'm out of row 4 stars. So let's do our function. Function. Contrast is good. Nice. Excuse me. The fumes. Nah. Oh yeah. Egg yolks and DCS, are you kidding me? It's the good shit. Oh, right, the J's here. I want a nipple J, and a nipple F. Nipple gang. I am a fan of the nips when it comes to DCS. I love nipples in general. I mean, hey. Let's see, let's throw in, where is our row 1 pipe? Nope, that's row 4. Do we have one? Surely. Yes, it's blue. Aha! I was looking at navy. There we go. Ooh. It's so good. I'm really excited about how this build concept came together. Didn't realize till everyone got this set that num yellow is different. It is different. In fact, if we have time, which I don't know that we will, maybe next stream, maybe on Saturday. Just a reminder, I'll publish this in my Discord as well. Exclamation point Discord if you want to jump in there. I'll put in the time for my bonus stream. Oh, I'm in there, all right. Some reason I kind of read that in the voice of, or heard it in the voice of Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove, so I guess Patrick Warburton, like, oh, I'm in there, all right. The peasant at the diner. He didn't pay his check. Cool. So let me grab. In case once I want to do. I can't speak. I do want to switch this back off of Bay once I get a screenshot of it for stuff. Okay, so this is all base. This is all base. I will try to keep it contained. Let me move a couple things more out of frame, including my solder cable here. Okay. Look at this. Let's hold it still, we can catch the light. I should actually be, with this different camera, should be going full 2K here, so should hopefully get a decent screenshot of it. Let's see if we can catch the light, maybe a little bit that way. But there is DCS UFO on the light blue Agar. Using an alu plate, HMX Egg Yolks. Here, let me pause. I'd say that's a winner. It does sound nice. I like egg yolks quite a bit. I guessed I would, based on some of those sound tests, including Shark. Yeah, let me zoom in a bit. Whoop. See if we can get it more or less centered here. Yeah. But yeah, I like how that came together quite a bit. You get to watch my ring finger on this hand do the weird thing it does, where it just kind of does its own, has a mind of its own when I'm typing. Yes, it is. I'm very fancy. Although I noticed watching a typing test from Nav the other day that his hand does something similar. It's a different finger, I think, but he has kind of a finger that just kind of hangs out and does its own thing too. So I was like, I don't feel so bad. Because for a while, at least when I first started streaming, there were a couple people who kind of made fun of it. Which, you know, whatever. But I was like intentionally trying to like keep it tucked in while I was typing. And then I was just like, you know what? I don't give a shit, actually. My weird tendons let their freak flag fly, whatever's going on in there. Whatever's going on in there is none of my business. Yeah, very cool. Big fan. Let me try putting these two back in. Definitely get some photos. I will for sure. Hey, Montagon, what's up? Here, let's try it out with a more standard configuration here. So we've also got Whoop, whoop, whoop. Clear the decks. Another very nice UFO up top. I mean, it definitely sounds better than the Bay, but that's also because it's running on 2 switches, so it gets pretty sluggish. A lot of times when I use Bays and other configurations, it'll be more hot swap, and I'll often leave out the switch here. So it's just on 1 switch and then the stabilizers for enter. And then it's mapped to the switch here. But... oh. The novelties, yeah. And like the ISO novelty is also excellent. Whoa! Almost lost a whole bunch of stuff off the side. Because it's essentially a rearrangement of the Bay. So, like this is the ANSI novelty, and then the Bay and the ISO enter are very cute and very fun. Real tight sounding? Is that like tight? Or does that mean you think something's wrong with it? I'm going to take it to mean the first. So yeah, I need to figure out, I might have to do another. I've only done like 1 ISO build ever. Tight is good. Okay, I figured. There we go. Now my face will show. I've only done 1 ISO build ever, but I might have to do another one so that I can use this. Because it's just so nice. Although I can do it on this, but see the yellows are very different. I think I posted this in the UFO channel on the Keycap sets Discord the other day, but because I do have like the little bay from Sneakbox, and you can do, you know, put an ISO here and then a 1U here, but the yellows are too different, I think, because this is much more orangey yellow, more caution yellow, and yolky, I think it's called, and this one is much more of a... As you can see, it's brighter, there's more green in this yellow. Come on, help me out here, autofocus. It's freaking out, man. There we go. Stay in the center. So, anyway, I'll need to find a home for this that will be worthy of it. Man, I like using this lens for the overhead. It's much nicer than the Sony kit lens I was using. But, yes, lovely, very good. And I like that this is part of the Agar design language too. I'm going to get all Alex Odos on you with the side profile, but I like that this kind of curvy cutout here has kind of persisted through all 3 versions of the Agar now, this one, the mini, and the micro. It's just very nice. It's very nice. Punches above its weight for the price, I would say. And it sounds good with egg yolks and DCS. So, I mean, I mentioned this at closer to the start when I was showing off all of the haul, but we've also got another Agar to build in the weeks to come. And it is a mini. I'll just show it off real quick because it's so cute. Look! Look at it. So this one just has like a PVD weight rather than it being, you know, engraved. We have a little bitty pinky, itty bitty pinky Agar that we're going to build probably in a couple weeks. And I have the Dyna pack for it. We're going to do DCS After School 1992. It is going to be awesome. So I got the split one with the 2 3U bars. And so I have the 2... I have those keycaps, and then I got the layout with the split 3U. And it's going to be great. And I'm very excited about that. it might balance out to taking around the same time as our TKL Dynacat build, because it came with a Dynapack, so it does not have the pre-lubed housings, or the dry lubed housings, so I will have to do more manual lubing of that stuff. So we'll see if the timing shakes out to be about the same. But that'll be fun. Yep, that'll be after school, which will be exciting. But, as I mentioned, for anybody who wasn't here when I was talking about it, there's going to be a special bonus stream on Saturday. Ooh, I'm shiny. Down here in the solder mines. This Saturday, I'll post a time on it'll probably be, my guess would be 2 p.m. Eastern time in the US. So whatever that is for you, but I'll post a Discord timestamp in my server. Let's plug this in and see if see if I can actually type on it for this. Now that it's been recognized, will it do it? I can't type. There we go. Everything's working. I just can't spell. You can hop in there. There's a stream schedule channel. And so it'll probably be around 2 Eastern, I'm guessing right now, but I'll post for sure. And we are going to be looking at the schema. We are getting a mint prototype with a frosted acrylic top. Also HHKB layout. If you've seen Shark streams, it is the unit that Shark has been showing off very well. Let me double check what Bowl said to me. Yes, mint and acrylic, and has a few plates and a hot swap PCB. So we will take a look at that on Saturday. And then potentially more the following Tuesday, but we'll see what we get through. But I want to try out a bunch of different keycaps and stuff on it and see how it sounds in person, which will be my first time actually hearing it in person, not in a crowded room full of people in Chicago. So I'm really excited about that. The schema is a lovely, lovely board, and I'm very excited that Bull asked me to take a look at it. I'm very honored. So we will do that on Saturday, and then maybe again on Tuesday, but we'll see for sure. But for now, what am I trying to do? So far, every letter I've typed has worked. Who's still going? We still got Alex. Let's give him a raid, shall we? Thanks for the stream, of course. Absolutely. Oh, I should also mention DCS UFO. If you did not get on the group buy and don't want to mess with, trying to find aftermarket, the extras for DCS UFO will be going up via Google form also Saturday. I want to say Saturday at noon my time, I want to say. I would say join the server to know actually when in your local time. There will be forms, I believe, and some extras allotted for various parts of the world. But I would say go for that first. Before trying to find the aftermarket, your money will go to the people who made it, which is great. It's a lovely, lovely set. I'm very excited to try out more kits in the future. And I could have been getting the raid command in here this whole time while I was chatting, but we'll let that run down. There we go. But yeah, extras on DCS UFO this weekend, schema stream this weekend. I'll post more in my Discord if you want to join. If you feel like it, buy a keyboard that's in there. All that money goes back into the stream. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday and stay cool if you can. Get yourself a lovely beverage, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.